Good evening and welcome. It is Wednesday, April the 20th, 2022. It is a beautiful evening here in Terrace, British Columbia. The sun is shining, some light clouds. It's on the verge of warm outside. Spring is coming, amen to that. And what are we going to do today? Today we are going to continue on with a week in the Mekong Delta. We are up to turn 93 of 420. We are about 7 turns away from the end of the second day. We will go into night for a handful of turns. Otherwise, yeah. Let's get back to it. What are we doing? I believe we are sending everyone back across the river. Just waiting for some additional boats. These guys are all done. We have our dogs. Let's continue over. We have our trucks. We have some infantry. And some more infantry. That's all that's over here, so we can start moving these back across the river. Do we have anything else? We're just moving all these troops because they have to be back at Dogtown Base, which is what this is. Let's turn on some labels so you can see what's going on. There we go. Nothing too crazy. We have Dogtown here. We have the 347th military area there, and we have Mytho there. Let's turn off the labels to improve performance. We'll get these boats back as well. We can leave those there for now. We are waiting for the boats to come back to pick these guys up. They're heading north. These are the second set of trucks that we will be able to unload here on that river, which is great. These are going to stay here. I thought I had another set of trucks. Oh, maybe they're over here somewhere. Oh yeah, they're over there. All right. We have a helicopter here that is coming. Oh no, that's right. We lost that helicopter. We ran out of gas. You can tell by it's on the ground and at 0, plus the fuel tank is red, and there it is disrupted. So hopefully it doesn't get attacked while it is there, but yeah, I had neglected to move that helicopter back to the airfield. Unintentionally so, but that's what happens. Let's go check on B Company up here. Oh yeah, the supplies have made it, and we're just dealing with this, which I think is as much as we can do at the moment. So, you know, I think that's it for this turn. Let's end a turn, see what happens. Being attacked by that company. Don't have units that are artillery units that are close enough to engage this. We will have to deal with that quite soon though, because we do have to get to this town over here. There's some civilians meandering in the paddies. Alright, turn 94, 3 airstrikes remaining. 1 unit has recovered, which is great. 3 headquarters unable to provide supply, and 3 units low on ammo. Oh, our jet finally came. Nice. I don't think we did any damage, but that's okay. We did bring some additional infantry. Let's bring them closer. are going to bring these engineers over too. We're going to surround this position, and then we're going to assault it. So let's just keep everyone there. Let's save... Ah, no, we have an airstrike. Let's use it. Why not? How about a couple? Let's use some more bombs. And maybe some... A7 bombs. So there's 2 sets of bombs sitting there. Hopefully they come next turn. But we do have a couple turns before we can get this engineer into position. So yeah, we're not too concerned about it. This does have some ammo. Let's fire there. And we'll just leave those trucks available for opportunity fire. Alright, there's that. The supplies, they've started. They'll take probably 4 more turns to deal with. That is B Company done for now. Let's go down here. What do we have? That's the Arvin. We don't care about that right now. And up here we have our trucks. Let's unload these. Let's move those there. Can we unload? Yes, perfect. Okay, now let's load those into there. We can load one of these into... Oh, not enough action points. That's okay. And yeah, not enough action points. So we'll still need 1 more boat in order to bring the rest of that. Hey, Berto, thanks for coming. Good to see you. We're just moving our units back to the base, moving our trucks down that we're going to be using in the future, keeping them out of the way. I just need to find out where these ones belong to. Yes, those over there. So let's move them through, and they'll be joining those there. So then I'll have two groups of trucks basically that'll allow me to move 1 company at a time, excluding any heavy weapons. But that'll make mobility down on this part of the map significantly better. I also do have trucks up on the north side of the river as well, so I should be able to move fairly efficiently, even more so when my helicopters start to come. Alright, let's zoom in. Speaking of dialogues, I am using the 1.20 update, which should be released probably in a week or 2, probably 2 weeks, safety first. That does improve the dialogues. We've completely changed them. Alberto's completely changed them. And yeah, they are much cleaner looking now, which I'll show you once we get to that point. I have lots of boats, but a lot of the boats are empty. That's alright. Trucks. We have, yeah, that's good. We're good there. So this is all done. We have the ferries in place. I took that point by accident, I think, which is unfortunate. But that's okay. These guys are waiting. These trucks are waiting to haul some of these people back, because I think there's 1 company at least, or almost a company's worth of troops that need to come back here to the main base at Dong Tam. Let's see. Our Arvin, they're hanging out, doing their thing. They're already in improved position, so we don't have to worry about that. These are our Arvin troops, regional forces that are, you know, securing our area. You know what? What's this? They can dig in. Let's dig these guys in. Just in case. Everyone else is dug in, though. That's good. Just those guys weren't. Their improved position there. Also improved position there. Alright. So I will have to come back with one more boat. So let's bring this boat over. Because I have one platoon that doesn't have enough transports to go. One of these two. And they will fit on this 2 strength point patrol boat. So that works out to our favor. Perfect. And the nice thing about those things is that they can move further than the normal transports. They can move 5 hexes, if I recall correctly, whereas the normal transports are only moving 2. So that has the advantage of taking a squad full of losses already, because now I can move them much faster. Again, that's going to have a complete impact on the rest of the scenario because I don't have enough troops. I am running out of troops slowly but surely. I will get reinforcements, very limited though, so it will be interesting to see how I cope with the limited resources available as the days go on. Alright, I think we are done for this turn. Let's end it. Continue. Ah, yes. There. So we plotted some mortars there and some airstrikes. More than likely they are in a bunker, but I'm hoping that they're not very good troops. So by the time we get the engineers up there, we can assault them and take them out. I tried to assault before with minimal units, basically equal sized units, and that failed. I took some casualties. Alright, night will be arriving the next handful of turns. You should have your forces on the way to or at the biovac areas for the night. Loggers include the B Company of the 3rd 60th at Kailai. They're the ones that are engaged right now. And the rest of the 3rd 60th and 447th at Dong Tam base, while the 3rd 47th should be at the military area between Dong Tam and Mai Tho. And for clearing the western... Oh, yeah, nice. We've gained 1,000 points for that. And airstrikes, we have 2 available. We have 1 unit that has not recovered yet. That's unfortunate. 5 headquarters are unable to provide supply. 1 artillery unit unavailable. And 3 units low on ammo. Oh, there we go. I think those are F-100s. Okay, that was good. Looks like we got some, and some A6s. Or are those Crusaders? I couldn't tell. Alright. Maybe the mortars will get lucky? No, not really. Not so much. Okay, let's pull these engineers a little bit. Oh, no, there's a crest there or something. Let's take a look. Where are the map highlights? It's a hedge. It's a low hedge. So, can't cross that. Okay, no problem. Can the mortars fire? No, of course not. These guys are ready to assault, but we're going to hold off. Look at that. This platoon is reduced in half already. This one is reduced by 2. This is the only full-strength platoon. Oh, sorry. That's the only full-strength platoon at the moment. Besides the engineers. Oh, man. Messy. Okay. So we'll leave that for 1 more turn. Actually, 2 more turns. You know what? Let's unload. Let's unload everything and try and assault. So I'm using all the machine guns that are available to me. These are irregular troops, I think, so we might have a chance to get in there. Let's try. Unknown assault odds, that makes sense. Let's try. Alright, let's give it a whirl, see what happens. Nothing. But we were lucky that we didn't take any losses. So, at least we tried. We tried. Let's continue on down here. And unload. What's this? We can unload them too. Just gonna move these boats out of the way. Let's go to 2D. And over here, let's get these infantry going. We can load them up, get them moving, and we can take 2 of these and put them into the boats. Oops, just 1. And bring this guy around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that'll be the last platoon that we have to worry about moving over. These ones here, we can just get them ready to unload. What's this? That's the dogs. The dogs still. So we have 5 turns to get everyone back to where they should be. Just for the record, you don't actually have to get them directly at the night. There is a buffer that I have been nice enough to give you during the evening. You do have to set your units in their biovac areas for a good portion of the night, but it's not strictly related to you have to be there for the entire night time. So you do have some flexibility. Not very much, but some. Because nothing goes perfectly all the time. Let's see. What are they going to do? Nothing, I hope. No losses. I'm glad they're picking on this because there's a trench there. And this is a really good position here because that's a special building which gives you really good defensive benefits. That civilian down in this area. Alright. Yay for quiet. 2 airstrikes remaining. That one unit just hasn't recovered. Oh, that's that helicopter. That's why, because it crashed. And it'll remain disrupted until I go recover it. But I won't be able to recover it until... I don't even know. A couple turns? No, sorry. A couple days, probably. 4 headquarters unable to provide supply. 1 artillery unit unavailable, and 3 units low on ammo. That explains why I keep on getting that disrupted unit. Alright, so we have a rifle platoon. We'll put him with the mortars. Try and keep them organized. That's their mortars. This platoon is with the right mortars. That's good. Let's see if we can unload this. See what's inside. Who is he with? Oh, that's the right company. Perfect. And what do we have here? We have the headquarters. Even better. We need those for the other side. Let's unload. So this will allow me to quickly see all of my infantry battalion or companies that are part of that battalion. And that will let me know which ones over here are in the wrong spot and need to be loaded. So we can move these out of the way. Let's turn that off again. Move these up closer. So it's just these 2 units here that have infantry left. All the other infantry is over on this other side. Let's see. What do we have here? Let's unload that. Straight up. Who's he part of? He's part of that, so we don't put him in a truck. We'll just get him moving. Those we don't need. Let's unload. At the large base complex, are most of those units fixed? No, they are not. Let me show you. They are. Everything is open. I just haven't needed to use them today. Let's see, highlight fixed. You'll see it's just the Arvin troops that I have fixed. But I'm not going to pull things out of the base if I don't need them. It's just a lot of movement. I will hit the X hotkey, he says. Look at that. That's handy. So you can see that these units out here, they highlight. They're fixed. So all the Arvin units are fixed, but all the American units are not fixed. So you can see everything is highlighted in yellow. Those are all fixed units. I have no control over those for now. As the scenario progresses and things happen, I will get control over some of the units. But yeah, otherwise, all my American units are free to do as they wish. But this is the end of the day, so a lot of the units are coming back to where they should be. And right now I'm just trying to make sure that everyone is organized. Let's load up these mortars. Okay, and over here we are unloading. Oops. So you have to load and unload one at a time, otherwise things get confused and there's potential that we're going to break something. What are we doing? They're all empty. They're full. Let's unload them. Look at that. Unloaded a whole bunch of stuff. That was actually quite impressive. Okay, I can't load those. These are our scout dogs. Let's put them up there. These ferries, they're going to move slowly, unfortunately. These can move quickly. And we're just going to grab that last platoon. There we go. So, all the infantry that was south of the river has now been loaded onto boats to transport to the other side of the river. Let's see how many of these platoons need to be loaded in trucks. Let's highlight our commander, turn on the highlighting, and see what happens. We got lucky. There's only one right now. It's just this platoon. Let's take a look. So I'm going to take one of my trucks and I'm going to put them over there to remind me to pick one of these guys up. These are the scout platoon jeeps, so we'll just wait for them. All these ones can walk, but we do have other infantry units down here, so we'll have to see where they belong in the on the ferries and in these boats. So these trucks still might be useful. Otherwise, the other guys can walk to their base, which is here in the middle, between Mai Tho and Dong Tam. We have 4 night turns left. Let's take a look at B Company. Hopefully that village so the village did protect, or has been protecting that engineer, which is good. I will try, why not, to assault that one more time. Just using all the machine guns. I'm firing directly at both of those units. Highly unlikely that I'm going to cause any casualties, but I'm going to try and at least get a disruption. Alright, so I've expended all my 50 caliber ammunition, and I am going to assault. No effect at all. And these mortars are still out of ammo. Supplies. Actually, you know, we should be getting the top-up of supplies anytime now. Next couple of turns. Chilling, having a beer they are. Yes. Yes, they are. They're ready for a good night's sleep. That's what they're doing. These guys will have to run. Mind you, we should be able to take them out next turn. Should I? No, let's not bother. That's a flanking assault next turn, so we should be able to get in there. What are those? Civilians? And here, everyone's moved. We have the trucks on the other side. Now remember, these are armed trucks too, so they're very powerful actually. They do have... let's spread them out. Give them something to look at. So they can look down here. These can look over here. These guys, what can they do? Oh, let's just leave them there, because they can see across these patties. That gives them all something to shoot at. Just in case, right? There we go. Since they're armed, might as well do that. And I'll do the same here. Do I have armed trucks? I do. Let's put one there, covering that. How about there? That covers that whole area. This is the only one that's not armed, so let's just put him there. This guy, let's put him here by this bridge. So, now, keep in mind, they're not very strong. So if they get attacked, more than likely they're going to die. So it's a matter of protecting them, but letting them be useful as armed units. Alright, we are done. Back to this. Did we get lucky? No, didn't get lucky. Left our engineer trucks on the road all by themselves. Hopefully nothing comes to get them. Alright, 2 airstrikes remaining. We have 1 unit that is... Yeah, it's that helicopter. 8 headquarters unable to provide supply, and 5 units low on ammo. Alright, let's unload this infantry. And which company is he part of? Let's see. He's part of that one, so he'll eventually go there. I'm going to move my headquarters up onto the airfield. And the same with the leader. And we'll put the leader on top. That way it's very easy for me to identify. Should DVC have underwater sappers? You know what? They do. I just don't have them in this scenario. But yes, absolutely. That would be cool. Everyone here is empty. They're not quite yet empty. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna leave all these boats here. Oh no. Shoot. Okay. First things first. We're gonna move these guys out of the way. So this whole company... Oh, that's all one company. Or is it? No, 2 separate companies. But they all belong here, so that's good. And then... Nope. Let's unload this. Who do you belong to? You belong to this company over here. Okay. And who do you belong to? Let's put... Oh, that whole company's right there. Perfect. this one goes to the other side. So let's load him up. This is our dog. Listen. Oh, it didn't do it. Okay, we'll load them up. I think I'm going to leave all these boats out here. Of course, it'll be these platoons on these ferries that are the slowest, that need to be somewhere else. These patrol boats came in very handy. Yes, we do have them, I believe. Pretty sure. Let's look. Oh yeah, I'm using the 1.20, so it hasn't been approved yet. Yes, I'm curious. So we're going to open up the org editor, and we're going to take a peek at Vietnam and the platoons. Where would they be? Water Sapper. Yep, we have them right there, man. NVA Water Sapper and VC Water Sapper. They are there. Their foot, amphibious, loadable portage, mine clearing. How cool is that, eh? Totally cool. I don't think I have any scenarios that use them yet, though. That'll come, for sure. That'd be a good idea for an addition to this scenario, actually. That's a good idea, Berto. Good thinking. Good thinking. Okay, back to this. Okay, so we're going to unload again, everything. And these machine guns. Alright, let's try our assault with everything. Hopefully the engineers are going to help tip the balance, plus a flanking assault, because we're attacking from here and here, all in the same assault. Positive vibes. And go. No, but we did cause some casualties, so hopefully we can continue doing that. Let's hit that with some napalm. Why not? Do we have any? Yes. How about some phantoms with some napalm? We are concerned here because we are running out of daylight turns, but we are still close enough that we can rush down this road to get to Kai Lei, which is our biovacking or loggering area for the night. Let me double check. Yeah, here. So we basically have to be within kind of like this little red dashed area just to be safe. I see I forgot to fix some of these. So one of the 1.20 improvements is how Berto has centralized all of these labels, these boundary labels, which is especially important for this type of scenario where you need to be able to define where you're actually operating from. And it looks like the only place that I missed is just this piece of river right here. I forgot to replace those. But otherwise, the labels are nicely centered now. You can identify specifically where the boundary is. Looks like I have to fix this part here too. Actually, I have to fix all around Kai Lei, except for this road. Sorry about that. I'll fix that for the update. And I also have to fix this. Should actually be a pagoda, not a revetment looking idea. Alright, there we go. Turn that off. We are getting close to that. Let's go just double check all my units, make sure that I've moved everything. Yes, yes. I'm going to move these up just so I can identify them quickly. Those are boats. Those, we're waiting for platoons there. So this company here, I didn't move at all during the this day. And that's part of, what is that, the 447th Battalion? Do I have a leader with them? No. But this company, we're missing 2 platoons. This company, we're missing no platoons. And actually, we're missing 1 entire company, which we're hoping is all on the other side. So, yeah, we will have to move them by truck. That being the case, let's grab some more trucks. How about these Jeeps? We'll get them over there, ready. That's not big enough. We have supply truck. Oh, we have the little Jeeps. That's enough. There we go. So hopefully that should be enough units to bring across. Let's see. Alright, let's end the turn. Zoom in. See what they're going to do over there, the VC. No damage, I hope. These are all really good defensive benefits. All in here. The villages plus this special building. Really, really good. Alright. 1 airstrike remaining. That helicopter still disrupted. 6 headquarters unable to provide supply. 1 artillery unit unavailable. And 5 units low on ammo. The airstrike didn't come in. But maybe the mortar will get lucky. Will cause a disruption. Alright. Since we're here, let's assault. Oh, he's low on ammo now. Darn it. Alright, here we go. Let's unload with the machine guns. Just all these 50 caliber shots. No luck by the looks of it, but hey, never know. Oh no, firing back! Alright. Now, let's do that assault. Ah, no, we did cause casualties to the other platoon though, so we're getting there. Maybe 1 more assault? Do I have our... No. Frickin' mortars. Alright. Let's go down and start dealing with these guys. Unload. Alright, who do you belong to? That platoon. Okay. So this goes there, and that finalizes that company. And then this one will have to go here, and we're missing a platoon from that. Plus, we're missing a whole other company. So let's go over here and start moving them. Okay, let's see if we have enough action points to unload. No. What about the leader? No. Darn. So close, yet so far. And let's just move these ATCs out of the way. Move these down here. Alright. These scout dogs we can put back to Dong Tam. Whoa. Yes, I shouldn't have done that. Locked up. There we go. Let's zoom in a bit. Alright, let's move. Double time these infantry. Same with these infantry, because both of those are going down here. And same with this. Let's just double check. Yes, everyone's part of that company. And that is part of that company as well. They're waiting. They're waiting. We can start. Now let's just wait. Let's just wait till everyone comes up. That thing did unload. The leader unloaded. Yay! And we have just these. There's a platoon there, platoon there, platoon there, and a platoon there. All these platoons go here. And then at least a company of platoons go here. This truck, we'll wait for this road to clear before we send everyone this way. Alright, there we go, we're done. Save, and the turn. Hopefully the airstrike comes in. Get some napalm in there. And, well, hopefully the airstrike comes in and hits the right hex. One airstrike remaining. That helicopter has not recovered yet. And 5 headquarters unable to provide supply. 5 units low on ammo. Ah, it didn't come. Darn it. Alright, let's go up there. And it's going to be nighttime in 2 turns. So we need to get this done. Just unloading my 50 calibers into each of those platoons, hoping for a miracle. Oh, don't. Alright, here we go. Let's do it. Oh, that's still low on ammo. That's too bad. Alright. Yes. Oh, they retreated. I don't see that happen very often. Now I wish I had... some machine gun fire left from those trucks. But no, I didn't expect them to retreat. I expected them to get captured. Alright. Let's load up these mortars. Get them on the road. Head them this way. And then once this is dealt with, we can start moving everyone down the road that way. Let's grab these 2 trucks. Who do you belong to? Let's highlight them. I guess it really doesn't matter. There we go. So 3 platoons will take these trucks. Once that's dealt with, and the engineer will come back to this truck here and head everyone back to this town. Alright, good news. Save, and the turn. Oh, I didn't move anything. Oh, that was silly. At least we're in a bunker there. I'll send the that's civilians. For holding the Kailai area, the free world gains 50 event points. Nice. For continuing to hold the Kailai area, the free world gains 50. Nice. And again, nice. Ban Long military post. The Bin Trung military post. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of these. There's like a couple dozen. sorry. So I'm just going to go through them. These are all the ARVN positions that, as long as I continue to hold, as well as the US positions, I will gain points for that. My airstrike, friendly fire averted. See, this is kind of important. You know, there's a, back in the previous game, where I was, where are we here? Where are we? So, if you recall, I had an airstrike, yeah, right there. So, that's 5473. Now, historically, in this game, that airstrike would have still come, and it might have drifted somewhere else, but now it's saying, you have friendly units there. Let's not do that. Let's avert that friendly fire. So, who's ever on the ground saw the plane coming and called it off. That's pretty cool. Let's just take all these infantry and assault that guy. There we go. Oh, and we assaulted right into a minefield, but fortunately, we did not take any losses. Alright. These guys will head back. Nope, they won't. Let's load up those guys. Get them towards the end there. Let's load these guys next turn. These mortars can go to the village. There we go. Okay, now the other side that I forgot to do last time. Let's deal with that. Do we have any other infantry? These ones go here. Let's double time them. Whoa! Oh, that's because the stack, there too many units. They're all overstacked, so we decided to take the long way around. All right, let's go down the river. Get all these guys out of the way. Let's do the same for these. And do the same for these. And do the same for these. Okay, over here, we'll load up. What are we gonna do? Let's wait. Let's unload these. Where do they go? They go all the way over here. So let's load them up in these jeeps. Or nope, we're not going to do that because I don't think we have enough. Yeah, we don't have enough action points. Darn, so close yet so far. Those we'll download next turn, and it's just these two units and these ferries that need to be transferred. We can move those over because that's that. And B347s, they can run down the road because they're just going here. There we go. We are almost, is that 6? No, 5. So let's move these trucks over. These trucks can go on the road because we're going to be going down. What's in here? Another infantry platoon. So these trucks can go all the way down, actually. Let's just move them all the way down. Too slow. Wow, really slow. Sorry about that. these are the dogs. Let's turn off the highlighting. Alright, there we go. Let's go back to 3D. Do we have any full boats? Let's just double check. No, no, no. Yes, 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 no. Okay. No. Let's move all our ATCs together. We have ferries. These are all combat boats. We have a patrol out. Let's do another one for a patrol. Let's put him in the middle here, just so we have eyes. It'll be dark soon. Next turn. In the dark, who knows what's going to happen. Alright, let's end the turn. Save, end the turn. Should be a quiet turn from the VC because we killed everything. Hey, Compass Rose, good to see you. Okay, I'm starting now. We're going to start almost at night. We are one turn away from nighttime. Air support has been halted due to nightfall. It will return at dawn tomorrow. So, never mind, it is night. This is a warning that 347th is not in its logger. It is recommended to move 347th ASAP to Mytho military area. And this is a warning that 447th is not, yes. And B360 is not, yes. Alright. So we're not quite finished with putting my units where they need to be. And that's a warning to let you know, hey, some of your stuff isn't right. I think that'll be the only warning you get. You get one of those every day. Let's see. Who do you belong to? You belong to them. So next turn they'll move to where they need to be. Let's put these trucks in here. How have your troops? The troops have been performing half decently. Fortunately, we cleaned up B company of the 360th. Just completed the task up here by eliminating that small group. So now we are just getting ready to load up and go to the biovac site for the evening. It will take a couple of turns to finish that though, but we're still within sight of getting our points for biovacking in the right area. We have to be here. We are protected by the Arvin, as you can see. Quote unquote. Happy thoughts. What do we have here? What do we have? We have, oh, a regular infantry company or two. No, a battalion scattered around. Where are they scattered? Let's see. Ooh, all around this area. So we're protected by an Arvin company, but they are fixed as per typical usual for this type of stuff. The rest of the company and the engineer should be there in a couple of turns. Now, remember, during nighttime, all your vehicles will slow right down. So keep that in mind for future reference. You do, in some cases, you'll probably move faster by foot than you will by boat. So, as an example, these typically move 2 hexes during the day, and now they are moving only 1. And let's unload these. Better sleep with one eye open at the art. Yes, exactly. I mean, that's not very nice. Wow, you're so mean. Okay, let's double check where this one is going. Make sure we're in the right area. Yeah, so this has to come all the way down to Dong Tam. Let's check. Oh, and this one is the same. So there, that whole entire company needs to go over there. But we can load that up. And we can we load this up? No. Can we load this up? No. Gosh, be darn it. So, let's see. Let's take a look and see where that passenger belongs to by going help. Unit handbook passenger or alt F2. That's C347. So this is the last platoon here that needs to go to here. So that's good. Let's just move all these guys together. Okay, let's move them there. They can go there. Move those mortars there. I'm just trying to keep my companies all organized together because it makes life going forward so much easier. So we're missing a platoon there. And we have our leader for B company all the way up there. Let's double time him if we can. No, we can't. How far can he go? All the way up there. So basically I had this leader out and I had the company that it belonged to back here in the base. That was totally pointless on my part. Bad me. Okay, we are ready. Any idea when night vision was invented and first used by the U.S. forces in combat? Starlight scopes were available in Vietnam, I think 69 or 70 or something. Maybe earlier. Don't quote me on that. Now I would move down here. But look, yeah. Normally these guys can move 4 or 5 hexes in a daytime turn, but now they're down to 2. So let's not even bother with that. And that's actually a good lesson for if you're going to play this and you do get stuck in a situation where you're not going to make it by nightfall using the boats. Yeah, maybe helicopters if you have them. Obviously the first 2 days you don't have helicopters, so you have to keep that in mind. Alright, and all this is moved, so we're good to go. End of the first night turn. Not expecting a lot to happen with the VC at night, but I am keeping my eyes out to see if they capture any of the points. And I don't know what my next day's task is going to be, so I'm actually kind of curious. 4 units low on ammo, and 1 unit has been checked. Speaking of ammo, we've had well over 10 turns for these trucks, and I don't know why they didn't register. I will have to double check that to make sure I did that right. Huh, how bizarre. Alright, let's leave them in the trucks. Let's get these engineers down here. No, not yet. Look at that. Look how slow that is for the trucks at night. Of course, I should be concerned about ambushes around here, but I don't see any yet, so... Alright, let's pan the road. So far that's all clear, which is good. We secured that earlier in day 2, and our day 1 area is still all secure, which is good. Let's go take a look across the river. And that is all still secure. So yeah, we're okay. We're happy campers. They're on patrol. They're on patrol. Here we need to get these vehicles going. They're loading up. They're loading up. And these guys are good. So let's move. So all these vehicles, they have to go to Dongtam. What's in here? Nothing. And we have that last platoon there. Is that enough to... No. We need a bigger truck. We need a bigger truck. Do we have a bigger truck? Nope. We actually don't have a bigger... Why don't I have a bigger truck? Oh, it's all the way over here. Now. Interesting. Okay. Who do these guys belong to? Here. And, okay, so there we go. So we have 3 rifle platoons plus our mortar. 3 rifle platoons here with our mortar. We have 2 bridging engineers. Don't need those. 3 rifle platoons plus a mortar. Is that it? Who are we missing? 1, 2, 3 companies. Oh, and then the other company is coming by truck. Okay. It would be nice to be able to. I mean, that's one way of the most efficient way of figuring out where your units belong to and who belongs to who is by using the highlight tool. Totally. But I don't know which company that is, and the only way that I would be able to do that is by going to the unit handbook. So it would be nice to have some sort of display there, but that's not anytime soon. That'll be a future thing. Alright, let's go up here. Just put Bess's or John's troop up front. They will let you know if there's trouble. That's right. Absolutely. I'm okay with that. Alright. End the turn. Oh, we hear them moving. I don't know if that's civilians or VC or what. I'm watching to see if any of my my points change, but no. Yeah, that ammo trigger didn't work, so I'm gonna double check that. Kai lay ammo check. I should have got points for that, but I didn't. Alright, what's this? They're coming down here. And these are doing the same. These are going the opposite direction. And here they're going south. Or west, I guess. Southwest. And here they're waiting for something. Unload. Can I move, or is it too dark? Oh, I can. Nice. So all my boats are in position. I do have a company of trucks down here in this town. I have another company over here. They're all armed, so if they do run into some BC, they should be effective. Let's go back up to B company, make sure that they're on their way. Can I load them? No, probably not. No. Alright. Just like that. Again, not expecting much VC action during this particular night. Six units unable to provide supply. 4 units low on ammo, and that helicopter's still out of luck. Alright. We have these guys. They can go into the base. Ooh, that's slow. Let's zoom in. Okay. And one more truck. Perfect. And then this guy. Oh, we don't even need to have that truck there. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. He can run there. Let's load him up anyways. Next turn. Yeah, we're almost in a position where we have everyone where they need to be for the night to get the points. Assuming I did it right. Wait till you see Chris's new monochrome coin 3D unit bases. Smooth as silk. Not a mere mod, but these will be included as a third bases option. Yeah, they're really nice. Chris did a really good job on them. They look really slick. Those will be available in the 1.20 update, which is coming out in a couple weeks-ish, barring any disasters. Let's unload all these guys. I think these are all the same company. Let's double check. Yes, they are. And these are vehicles. Okay. And this vehicle actually... So let's double time these guys. Let's put these trucks back over to the other side. So they didn't get very far, but that's okay. It's nighttime. Let's go up to B company, get those engineers loaded and moving. The units are there except for that engineer, so that's good. Let's just double check the road. Road is still clear so far, which is good. And area, I think this is area beta. I think that is also still, oh no, look at that. Those buggers, they took that point. Okay. So we're going to have to go for a hunt here, I think. Maybe we'll send one of the spare companies up, depending on what the tasks are. I don't know what the tasks are. But that lets me know there's some activity happening there. Interesting. Huh. These are all empty. Oh, there's a lot moving now. That's not good. It's just that point. Oh no, they took that one too. Huh, look at that. I don't know if you saw that. So they took this and this. There's something happening in the night here. And I can't go deal with it because it's dark. Oops. I want to leave that open. And who do you belong to? These guys. This leader belongs to that company. And you guys are all part of that. These are just spare trucks. And that spare truck can come here. Let's turn off the highlighting. Let's go back to the jump map. Get those engineers over. There we go. So everyone is in Kyle now. So we should be okay. We have enough time to do it barely. Let's see. And the road is still secure, but we're losing this piece of the highway here in that area. So we'll have to deal with that. So now everyone is where they're supposed to be. I'm probably just going to breeze through these night turns because I don't need to really care. We know that we have to deal with this. I'm keeping an eye on the points up there just to make sure everyone's where they're supposed to be. So I'm just going to breeze through these final turns. I'm just keeping an eye here to see if these change, like here or here or here. This road is still clear. Let's save it and the turn. No additional points have been taken yet, which is good. So, night turn, I am just ending the turns. I've organized everything already. Everyone is where they need to be. I do need to get that helicopter though, but I don't have the means to do it right now. Oh, you see her doing something. What are they doing? I don't hear anything. Don't hear anything. Oh, there we go. They were deciding. What are we going to do now? Let's just do a quick review. These are still the same. This road is still clear. This road is still clear, and all the units in here. So it's just this area, this intersection, that we'll have to keep an eye on. Ten more turns before the morning. Still annoyed that I lost that helicopter. That's so frustrating. If I had gunships, I would be able to take my my loaches and my gunships to go track down what's moving in here. But I don't. Not yet. I still don't see any changes, which is good. Even these two ARVN platoons up at the north here by that airfield, they're pretty quiet. Nighttime. It's always unnerving. You don't know what's going on. You don't know where the VC are. But you can hear them. Yeah, I'm burning through ammo. Keeping an eye still here. So much movement. Holy crap. Are they somewhere else? Like, that's a lot. A lot of movement. Way more than normal. Huh. 5 headquarters unable to provide supply. We are running low on ammo. Oh, what the heck? We're being attacked. We're being attacked. From mortars off over here. This is Ben Trey. Let's try the label. Oh, I can't. Ah, we lost one of the trucks. Oh, crap. And they're attacking. We saw something right there. I have an Arvin platoon that has got released from the artillery. I have a couple of trucks that got released. Oh, they're hitting the airfield down here too. Oh, shit. We have supplies. We have some heavy weapons. Not very much infantry, though. Oh, man. Oh, we are defending. Let's record this rifle. Firing at some VC units. We have the Arvin rifle platoon firing. This is the west side of Ben Trey. Oh, we just got assaulted. That does release us, though, so that'll give us an opportunity to defend. There's some VC civilians near that airfield by Ben Trey. Oh, well, where's that? Oh, no, that's way up north. That's okay. Wow. Okay, unexpected. VC are attacking. And I don't have anything that I can send there yet because I have to stay in the base. Okay, let's go down there and manage that. So let's just take a look at the jump map again. So here's Dong Tam in the middle here, kind of. Here's Mai Tho, the city. Here's our secondary base for the 347s. Ben Trey is down here, and this is Arvin held town. And there's an airfield right here where that blue little section is. So we're going to be diving in and trying to do what we can to defend this. Now, the VC are more powerful than we are, so we are going to move into better positions. Let's pull these trucks back because they don't have guns on them, which does not do us any good. We have a regimental HQ and a battalion HQ here. Let's see if we can pull back into some better positions. Let's pull them back. Leave them there. Let's pull the mortars back. And let's hit this right there with the mortars. Do we have any guns around here? Do we have artillery? Do we have artillery? Oh, we do! Ah, now, here's the question. The VC are attacking the town, and I get penalized for bombarding, which I just did that by accident. I did without even thinking, not by accident. That was just without even thought. We don't know where the VC are going to be attacking, but we know they're going to be coming into town. So, do I, bombard where I think they're going to be in town and deal with the points? Yeah, you know what? I think I have to. I need to defend my position at least until morning when I can get some reinforcements. Oh man, that was totally a surprise. I forgot about that. And up here, everything is fixed still. So here's that secondary airfield. What is this airfield called? Truck Yang Airfield. And they've secured that town. They didn't take this yet, so maybe they're taking the airfield first, and then they'll attack us. I do have to keep an eye out, though, because I am up against a river that I cannot cross, which means if they start assaulting, I'm going to be having a bad day. And there's nowhere I have to... If I'm going to escape, I have to go to this bridge, or I have to go around this little lake. Oh, man. Everything is fixed. Alright, that's all I can do. Let's end the turn. No... Yeah, let's end the turn. Ooh, intense, man. Okay, mortars, they're coming in, they're hitting us again. We pulled out of there, so they missed, which is good. Let's see what the VC do. Oh, what? Those buggers. No effect, so that's good. No effect. Okay. VC are getting closer. What is that? RPG team. And a platoon. We're defending. These Arvin are not very good on attack, but they are half decent on defense. And that is an improved position there, so maybe that'll help. Mind you, not against the full company. Oh man, they're there too. Are they going to be... So they're fixed right now. Hopefully they get assaulted. That will release them. Oh my goodness, look at that. There's a full company there. Holy shoot. So they've secured Western Bentray. And that looks like 2 companies with heavy weapons. Up here, we see... Oh, sapper platoons. Ah! Oh no. Oh no. And it's night, so they have the advantage. Oh no. Ah! They annihilated that entire unit. Arvin platoon, supplies, and supply truck got annihilated. And we didn't see them until they assaulted. They were right up against us. And then boom! Just like that. Bad day. Not much effect with a mortar. And we missed. Oh, we got lucky there. But this is still fixed. Let's move them up. Let's move them up. Let's see if I can assault this. Maybe make some progress. Let's assault. No, that was not good. Okay. What are we going to do with the heavy weapons here? Let's move these mortars since they are out of ammo. Let's move these trucks. Let's head north with the trucks. All this is fixed still. We'll leave the recoilless rifle here because we need to protect our headquarters, which are completely out of ammo and not very useful at the moment. And up here at the airfield, we are suffering a big blow. The mortars are not very effective because they have a short range or a minimum range, and that is beyond what I can see. So the VC attacked at night, knowing our very terrible disadvantages. And I can't do anything back. All I can do is fire at this. Holy, really bad night, Birdo. This is not good. This is not good. So, my mortars, they got unfixed, but my transports did not, unfortunately. I'm gonna lose this entire unit because I can't do anything to stop it. Holy crap. That's terrifying. Not a thing. Let's just double check around my throw to make sure there's nothing going on around here besides what we already know. And yes, it's just these points here that have been taken. We'll have to send a company to go up in here and search around this area. Maybe there's a platoon that is hiding. And being that's a road, we'll have to send some engineers up there too. Do you get... Yes, I do. I do indeed. I get a regional force battalion, and I think I get a regular infantry battalion for the Arvin troops. I also get some armored cavalry, a couple of squadrons. No, a couple of troops. And then I get... I think I get some Arvin Airborne as well, near the very end of the scenario. It's very... Oh, we have artillery still. Let's fire. Let's get there. Yeah, let's hit there. Do we have any mortars back here? Anything that's useful? These mortars might be able to reach. Let's see. Yes. Okay. That's all I can do. Let's zoom in so we can watch our destruction. We have 6 more turns of night. So I suspect day 3 will find me coming back or down here with my troops to help rescue them. If they survive, or at least take back the town. Oh, what was that? Oh, I hope they stay there. I don't think they will, though. They're probably going to assault this. Oh, there's sappers there, too. Holy man. Look at all those troops. Alright. Release me. Oh no, you're gonna surround me. Never mind. Don't go after my artillery. Don't do it. Don't do it. Ooh, there's some good sounds in there. Chris did a good job with those. Man. Oh, look at that. What are they doing? It's a good thing that is protected there. What is that? Some machine guns, a couple of headquarters. None of the Arvin trucks are armed, though, unfortunately, I don't think. Lots of RPGs around. This is what Tet's gonna be like. Oh no. Yeah, look at that. Just like that. Poof. Those sappers, they're brutal. Oh, I survived. I can escape. Whoa. They are attacking their own civilians. Oh no, I lost that entire platoon. Shoot. I got reduced by 2 and then totally captured. Look at that. Completely annihilated. They're taking the town. shoot. One artillery unit unavailable, 4 units low on ammo, 6 unit headquarters unable to provide supply, and 3 units have not recovered. Come on, do some damage. Damn it. And we got denied. Fire truck. And they moved out of that hex. That's unfortunate. Okay, let's save the one platoon that we can. Let's pull these guys back. Move these trucks out of the way. Let's move this truck around. This truck up here. These are still fixed, so let's just fire into that RPG team. Oh, we destroyed it. Oh, perfect. These howitzers are still useful. Let's hit that town. These guys, let's see. Can we get shot at, maybe? Yes. Ah, perfect. Oh, no. Okay, well. Not what I wanted to happen, but we did get... we did retreat, and we have a new defensive line. Unfortunately, it's right up against my headquarters, and I have to wait until they're attacked before they get released. Mortars. There and there. There's no way I can slow that down. That's a battalion's worth of troops, supported by heavy weapons and supported by sappers. I am so screwed down here. No matter what I do. Up here. Now. The good news is that I can load up my mortars. The bad news is I can't go anywhere because the road is blocked by this sapper team. So I can't move at all. I'm just screwed. Totally stuck. Can't do anything. Oh no, I assaulted by accident. to prove a point. So, lesson learned. That unit had an assault value of 0. And when you go to ambush or try to attack, assault an enemy unit, a known enemy unit, you will become eliminated because you were caught in an ambush during your quote-unquote assault. Now, even though that was a mistake, I just screwed myself by destroying my own transportation by performing a fictitious assault. I'm going to abandon this position. I can't move the mortars now. They're totally screwed. So I'm going to save this platoon at least. And maybe... Yeah, no. He's got another platoon down here. Oh, and he's the headquarter company too. That's perfect. So we'll race him down here to help with that platoon. Maybe that will help stem or save our artillery, because I think that company's coming for that artillery. Man, that's tough. And I don't have any airstrikes because it's night. Visibility is 1. My ammo levels are low. Alright, let's zoom in. Watch the action. Ooh, the mortar's zeroing in on our artillery. But, on the bright side, that has released everything, so we can move it. As long as the trucks don't get eliminated. No. Oh, crap. Holy. So if we can hold them, we might get lucky with the artillery. I don't think I'm going to get lucky, though. Because the only thing that's defending that now is a machine gun. Oh, don't assault me. Don't be... Come on. Don't be cruel. Oh, they went around my jeeps. Interesting. Will they survive? That's the question of the night. Will they survive? So many units in there, we can't even see them. We've seen 3 platoons go in there already. Now I can't see them. Oh, that's scary. I'm waiting for the assaults. I know they're coming. I'm just cringing at the thought. Oh, there's the first one. Oh, and it survived an assault. Nice. Yeah, I didn't think it would survive a second. There goes our jeeps. That's okay. Oh, no. Oh, that's good. So that's what I'm afraid of. Okay, so all that's released, which is good. Oh, no. Oh. Holy crap. So they're securing this airfield. I'm getting the heck out of Dodge. 7 headquarters unable to provide supply. 1 artillery unit unavailable. 5 units low on ammo. Come on, do some good artillery. Yeah, not so much. Not so much. Mortars, maybe useful. That is probably overstacked. Okay, first things first. We are getting out of here. Double time these. Hopefully you're not going to run into any... VC over here. I didn't even check. No, that's still clear, so I think we're okay over there. The mortars, let's put them down here. These, let's move back 1 hex. We might lose these supplies, unfortunately. Let's see if we can draw some fire over here. Do we get... Yes! So the machine gun got unfixed. Come on, the other platoon. Shoot the other platoon. Darn it. Alright, so we saved him. Let's move him down here. And let's do 1 more shot. See if we can draw some more fire. No, he's fixed still. That's not good. We are going to try and run away. No! Darn it. We lost a gun. Okay. Let's we're gonna try and head across this no, we can't go across that bridge. We have to head south. Talk about stressful. Let me tell you. What do we do? What do we do? I don't know. Let's move these trucks out of the way. We know there's something there. Oh, there's that battalion. Let's get him out of there. Put the machine guns... Where are we going to put the machine guns? Up here. We are abandoning this position. There's more troops up here. We're just trying to save ourselves because we are going to lose this town. We have some infantry. Let's bring them closer. Oh no, we got ambushed. Freaking really? We got ambushed and we took losses. I guess I should have expected that. Ah. Well, maybe he can, you know, go around this ambush then to meet up with the rest of his company down here. Things are not going well. Things are not going well at all. Okay, let's end the turn. And watch what happens. We have 4 turns until daylight. And the new missions. It's... okay. Are we going to be effective here? I'm literally just retreating and retreating and retreating and trying to save as many... oh, yeah, we killed an RPG team. Nice. Sapper. That's not good. It is insane how effective the VC has been in assaulting this town. It's been so methodical. It's been just fantastic. If I would have left everything there, I'd be out of troops already. So I'm trying to save as much as I can for the morning counterattack. Assuming they survive that long. We saved some trucks though. That's good. We might lose these supplies because they're fixed still. Ah, we lost the light trucks. That's expected, I guess. And we lost a machine gun. And we lost nothing. Oh, we held that position. That is surprising. Thanks, Compass Rose. This is really... I hope you're enjoying this battle. This is really intense. Two units are recovered. Yay. And Arvin recovered. What? 9 headquarters unable to provide supply. 1 artillery unit unavailable. And 5 units low on ammo. Alright. Let's go back to the battle. Let's draw fire first. Let's draw fire. Anyone firing? Yes. We're gonna take losses, but we need to draw fire. Oh, I didn't want to get eliminated. Okay, hopefully we can now load. Oh no! We lost 4. And we can't go further! Fire truck. Okay, let's try and get out of here. Okay, we saved the artillery. We lost the supplies. Let's move these up here. So they're safe. They are not safe. Let's move these trucks up here too. Let's move these machine guns across this creek. They're stuck. Let's move these guys back. I can't cross there. The mortars, let's bring them back. Yeah, obviously I'm totally abandoning this town. They cannot move. They sacrifice themselves to get our artillery through. That is running away. The trucks are running away. These guys, let's dig in right there. And our last platoon, which has recovered. We avoided that ambush again, and we just went around. And they will join up with the rest of the company. And they're, look at that, they're taking over the airfield now. Holy crap, man. That is just insane. Nothing I can do. I have to wait for this guy to get shot at in order for me to... This is a good position. But I don't... Maybe this guy will get pushed back? I don't know. It's a rather large map with U.S. Arvin Fort concentrated at the center. Will the action spread out in the coming days and nights? Yes, for sure. You will find that the days will encompass this entire area. It will encompass this entire area, and it will encompass... can I zoom back? No, I can't. Basically, everything south of this line and this in here, it'll encompass this entire area. Every day you're cleaning 1 or 2 new areas, and yeah. So yeah, you'll be clearing the entire map eventually and dealing with the fallout from that. Oh, finally. So we can have this guy escape too if he survives. They don't have very good morale, and the assault, as I mentioned before, is not very good. Here, we're gonna probably lose that platoon. At least he's shooting at the right thing, not the civilians. How long did it take me to create this map? I think it took about 2 months. Wow. Oh, phew. They ran away. Wow, that was a crazy... It got reduced by 2. Oh no, not by 3. So he's down to 1. Yeah, it took a couple, 2 or 3 months to complete that map. Thank you. Yeah, I like it. There's still a few little details here and there that I have to fix, but otherwise it's a really good map. I like it a lot. I can't believe I got completely decimated there. So let's just pull him out. These guys, let's see if we can draw some fire and get released. There we go. That's what we wanted. Saved a platoon. Running away! And these guys have saved themselves by getting shot at. And we're just going to hang out here in this area. Where should I put these mortar or artillery? Let's put them there. There's that. So we have some trucks. We have artillery battery. We saved the artillery battery. We got really lucky there. We have some. So we've lost probably, what? A company and a half of troops. Plus a whack load of supplies. But we did save some stuff. So that's good. Hopefully in the morning we can counterattack. Hopefully we'll have some Americans to help counterattack. But that won't know until tomorrow. They've almost secured the entire Ventre. I think if they secure this, this, and this. Oh, and that. Or no, I think it's just this, this, and this. If they secure those 2 things, they get points for that. Those buggers. Ah, tough. Alright, let's zoom back in. Let's see what they're going to do. We have day 3 starts on turn 121. We're at turn 118, the VC turn of that, so 3 turns left. They've secured the rest of that town. They'll probably secure this next turn, I guess. Oh, and they're probing out of the village too. Shoot, so we need to run away. We need to conserve this force as much as possible. I still can't believe that one got annihilated by 5 strength points. So 2.5 squads gone like that. Oh no. And look, we got reduced by 3 strength points. And now it's going to get annihilated because it was down to 1. Ah, that was VC. Holy crap. I think we're going to have to pull the these units. Do I create maps like this so you can design certain scenarios, or do you first come up with the scenarios you want to cover and then create the maps? In the case of Vietnam, I decided on the main battle areas that would be consistent throughout 48 to basically 85 eventually, and built the master maps for those, knowing that a lot of the scenarios would come from these master maps. And in the master maps folder, you'll see that there's quite a few maps in there that are designed for this type of thing, where I can do a large scenario or I can do small scenario based on these type of maps. Depending on the year, I have to update the maps specifically for the scenario, because in some cases the roads weren't there, or the roads were of poor quality, or they were trails, or the towns weren't as big, or they weren't even there. From 48 to the fighting in 65 or whatever, a lot of the strategic hamlets were being built, so those have to be removed. Depending on most of the base maps, they have a date of around 1970-ish. So with that, I have to go back during these scenarios and reduce certain features and whatnot in order to make them accurate for that particular time period. So yeah, and it's the same for East Front as well. I'm particularly interested in certain areas, so for my scenario designs, I've created master maps that will encompass those entire area, and then I can just cut up the maps as I need them for each scenario. Alright, back to Ben Trey. Run away! I thought this would be safe in here, but it's not, so we are pulling out. And unfortunately, I think my trucks are going to be stuck because I can't cross that bridge. Oh, I can go there though. No, I don't want to go there, because if I go there, then I'll get stuck and I won't be able to come back out. So we were trying to obviously avoid, we lost 2 platoons basically. That one's down to just 1 squad now. On the northern sector, we're doing okay though. That's a rough buff battalion. Let's put him in there so he's well out of the way. We have some trucks that I can't go that way. They're stuck there, basically. They are stuck there unless I take a point, and I'm not going to do that. Okay, let's end the turn. Two more turns. Or I guess 1 more turn, then it's daytime. Let's go down to Ben Trey. See if we can see what they're doing. When creating a new map, where do you start? In the middle or at one of the outside edges? It depends. Typically, if it's a set area, then I'll usually start with like a small 80 by 80 area, and then quadrant that out, finish that, and then start going by 20 by 20 sections, or rows, or columns, and then filling it out, and then expanding it, and expanding it, and expanding it, and expanding it, until I get to the area that I want. I find that instead of having a massive 800 by 800 map that I need to fill in, holy crap, they're attacking up there too. Why? It's less daunting. So if I do one portion and start filling it up, it makes it feel like I'm accomplishing more in a kind of weird way. Reinforcements have arrived. Ooh, what did I get? Oh, I have some gunships. Oh, that's lovely. Gunships, loaches, and Hueys. I can now transport things by helicopter. Woohoo! That is huge. That is perfect, even. But I can't use them until next turn. Okay, let's... I guess we're gonna pull back. Yeah, it really does. It doesn't... You know, for the Eastern Front scenarios, for example, those maps are going to have to be massive. On the bright side, they're going to be easier to do, generally speaking, depending on the area. For example, in the Ukraine, the maps are very, very simple because it's relatively flat and it's mostly farmland with some random forests and villages. It's not that complicated. Whereas this type of terrain here takes forever because you have to add the villages, you have to add all these little, you know, the canals and whatnot, and it just takes, it's so time consuming. So time consuming. That's a good question. My understanding is that East Front is probably the most popular theater around. I mean, obviously, we'll still continue on with the DLC for Vietnam and update Middle East. Why? What would you like to play instead? Compass Rose? Nothing I can do. I have to wait till daytime. Pacific Front, for sure. Problem with Pacific Front is that everything has to be rebuilt from scratch, and there's lots to do. I've been reading and watching videos about the Japanese campaigns in 1941, and they're quite fascinating. They're really, really fascinating. And there's lots of interesting small battles, especially with the Dutch, which you don't think of, or you don't hear very much about. And it's just so much potential for scenarios. It's amazing. I could do 100 scenarios just on the engagements with the Dutch. It's fascinating. It doesn't snow all the time, though. Those frickin' Viet Cong, they're just everywhere. It's like they're trying to hunt down my trucks or something. That's just irritating. Oh, it's daytime. We have reached a new day. A new pool of airstrikes has increased as the tempo of operations have increased. Yeah, no kidding. Day 3. The situation. Ben Tre is under attack. No kidding. During the early morning hours, the Arvin Battalion defending Ben Tre has been under attack. 3rd and 4th 47th Infantry are assigned with relieving and recapturing Ben Tre and the Truc Giang airfield. Elements of an assault helicopter company have arrived to assist with transferring of forces during the operation. The remaining battalion will start conducting a search and destroy mission south of QL4 and continue protecting Dong Tam base area. The friendly forces are... You are in command? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. We don't care. Reports from the Arvin Battalion. Ben Tre reports that a battalion-sized Viet Cong main force battalion is attacking the city. 360th. The mission. So, we are splitting it up. B and C companies with engineers will conduct a search and destroy in area Mike. A and D company will remain at Dong Tam for base security. We will use actually one or both of those companies to go find out what's going on in that area beta where I pointed out. I'll show you later. 3rd 47th mission. The battalion utilized one of the riverine divisions and helicopters to land east of Ben Tre in Zom Kin area. Oh man, that's going to be way too far. And 4th 47th mission, the battalion will utilize one of the riverine division helicopters to land at Phu Thin and advance along the roads towards Truc Gyang. Alright, B and C, so I have to move one of these companies up with the engineers. We'll clear south of QL4 between Road 211 and Zhang, as far south as Route 212, clearing the following areas. Area Mike, at some point during the day, we get an armored cavalry troop. Yay! It'll arrive from the north and is assigned to assisting with the mission. The companies will advance towards Vinh Tran, or Than, actually I think that's where that helicopter crashed, and where the company will logger overnight. Okay, 3rd 47th. After landing at Ap Tan Thung, which is that city where we have the trucks, the companies will disperse to capture the following areas. Areas Ada and Theta. Once Ben Tre has been secured, the battalion will return to the military area near Mai Tho. Okay. 4th 47th. After landing at Phu Thin, where I think the other trucks are, the companies will advance post-haste towards the Truc Gyang airfield, which is the one that got captured. Recapturing it, once secured, reinforce the companies by helicopter and counterattack into Ben Tre. After Ben Tre has been recaptured, clear the following areas: Kappa, Iota, and Zeta. Before nightfall, the battalion will logger overnight at the Truc Gyang airfield. Okay, so that's good. We only have to send one by boat back and forth, and that 4th 47th will stay on this side of the river. For biovacking 347th, where we're supposed to, we gained 500 points. For biovacking 447th, where we're supposed to, we gained 500 points. And for biovacking 360, where we gained 500 points. As well as B360. So I gained 2,000 points just for putting my units where they were supposed to be. Okay, let's see what's going on with the chat. That one dialogue did not look like dialogue call. I should check that. Yeah, sorry, Berto. Remember to recall the briefing when you do the next live stream. Yeah, I will have to because we're at the end of the session now. From my point of view, EF is boring as it is normally just two sides, Russian versus Germany. West Front, North Africa, Pacific has more of a mixture with forces sides from different countries, so which I enjoy a lot more. Well, you know what I'm really looking forward to? Cold War, but that's like the end of the line, unfortunately. So, alright, so you bring up a good point, Compass Rose. For example, East Front is typically mostly Russian versus German, Hungarian, etc. Not as much diversity for sure. But the downside, or the opposite side to that coin, is that, yeah, West Front has a whole bunch of nations, but it takes time to build all those nations. So, do we release the initial West Front with Germany and France and England, and then eventually add the other countries as we build them in DLCs? Or what? What do you suggest with that? Suggestions, thoughts? How does that work? Keep in mind, it takes a good 4 or 5 months to build each country. Yes, that is a good point, Berto. West Front terrain is also more varied. I'd like to sleep on it before I go on the record. So, come on Saturday and let me know your thoughts on that. I'm really, really curious. You know, based on the limitations that we have as a small team, what do you recommend we do? You know, we can't do what we've been doing and offer the whole entire game because it takes, it took this game 7 years to get out. And we're only released half of it because there's so much content in it, right? I'd like to do Cold War, and I would like to do just the core units to begin with, or the core countries to begin with. The Soviets, Germany, Poland, the US, UK, France. France, UK, US, they're done already. And the Russians I have mostly done. I would say they're sitting at about 70% complete, the order of battles, anyways, from 1948 to 1985, right? And that's our standard. That's the standard for the campaign series. After that, it gets too complicated with the weapons, so we just leave it there. So the design that I've been doing with the order of battle so far is that all the countries are ready to go from 1948 to 1985. That's the standard, period. Very, very complex game. Lots of DLCs, though. You could do Cuba, you could do Africa, various places in Africa. You can do India. There's just unlimited amount of content that would be available for a Cold War type game. But again, you have to draw a line somewhere. You can't do everything. You have to offer a core game, and what is that core game going to be? What's going to make people happy and interested? Any consideration for Operation Unthinkable? What is Operation Unthinkable? Refresh my memory, please. Or I guess I could Google it. Or not. Operation Unthinkable. Yeah. So, for the Cold War game, just to give you some crumbs, the idea is to have a Cold War gone hot theme in Central Europe, because that's where the main countries are that we have available, for each of the decades, and what that would look like. So you would have a historically based situation, where things went over the line and there was a conventional war. So this would be included in that. So something in the 40s, something in the 50s, something in the 60s, and something in the 70s and 80s. I think that the 50s and 60s fighting would be the most interesting, because both sides are mostly kind of even in a way. Once you get even up into the 70s, I guess it would be on a conventional battlefield. Yeah, in the 80s, things start going very pro-West, I think. But yeah, that's the idea for that, is that the Cold War game would have the initial core main units that we've already been building in Middle East and Vietnam, with the addition of the Soviets, and maybe one of the Eastern Bloc countries or two of the Eastern Bloc countries, just to have some flavor in there for the Warsaw Pact units. And then, focus maybe even in the same area, so the mapping wouldn't have to be all that extensive. But what would happen if Cold War gone hot in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s? That would be a very simple, quote-unquote, offering that would allow you to play different decades, different weapon systems over this, same type of terrain. You could do Fulda Gap, do one map for each decade, and the same for further north along the North German plains. Yeah, lots of ideas, lots of possibilities. But again, that's a future thing, because we have other games like West Front, like East Front, like Pacific Front that need to get done. And again, it boils down to, what are those core games going to be? Your maps would already be completed once you created a new West Front. Yes and no. Yeah. I mean, obviously, as a starting point, yeah, maps would be completed. The most difficult thing to find, though, I have found, are accurate topographic maps of Germany during the time periods that we're interested in. France, no problem. Belgium, no problem. Poland, no problem. Germany, next to impossible. Next to impossible. They're just... no idea why. No idea. Couldn't tell you. I look often, frequently, and they're very difficult to come by. You can find random maps, like 50K random maps of certain areas. But to find, like, if I was to get, like I've done for Vietnam, they're readily available. You can have the entire country at 50K, which is the perfect scale, I think, for Campaign Series Vietnam. Even most of the Pacific Islands, not all of them, but most of them, you can find decent maps at 1 to 50K or 1 to 100K. You can get by with 1 to 100K, but you're missing some of the details. But again, the game scale that we're at, each hex is 250 meters across. You don't need this super fine detail. You can get by with 1 to 100K and still have an accurate experience with the mapping. But yeah, finding complete coverage of Germany in the 40s or 50s or 60s, impossible. For me, so far, as a whole, totally impossible. There's Russian maps that cover part of Germany, but they're mostly for the 80s. And there's US maps that cover Germany, but they're mostly much, scale at about 250K, which is not very useful for Campaign Series mapping. You can find a whackload of maps of Russia, though, although you have to take those with a grain of salt, because in some cases the accuracy is intentionally wrong, so you have to use more than one source in order to make sure that what you're putting down is correct, unfortunately. Well, there we go. We have a brand new day. We had some really intense action down here at Ben Tre. We have saved some of the units. Oh, you can tell everything here changed to 1. So these are all my targets for today, as you can see, which is good. Yeah, we should have started this conversation an hour ago while I was playing. We can do that on Saturday, for sure, because it's very interesting. It's quite intriguing to get feedback and to hear what people want and what their expectations are. So on Saturday, when you show up, literally, honestly say, hey, this is what we think a core game would be ideal. I mean, can we do it? I don't know. But we can't go with the same model that we've had before, where we provide everything. It's just impossible. With such a small team, can't do it. Totally impossible. So, what is a realistic core game to you? And we can have a discussion about that. That would be interesting. That would be really interesting. On that note, let's call her for the night. That was a good session and very interesting conversation. Thank you for doing so, Berto and Compass Rose. I will be continuing this on Saturday. Things are getting hot and heavy. We have a brand new day with whole new missions. I'm very excited to see what happens, and hopefully we don't suffer too many losses. But now I have some Arvin troops that will help soak up some of those losses. Might want to create some... Yeah, we are going to be taking some surveys for sure. That's, I think, in May or June. I think that's the idea, is to post some surveys, see what happens. But yeah, for sure. Anyways, to continue the discussion on Saturday, tune in. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Always happy to answer them. Or you can go to the Matrix forum and post your questions there. Take care, smile always, and good luck.